procedural issue. The evidence is very clear. She engaged in blatant mortgage fraud. And people engaged in mortgage fraud end up costing other people who are honest having to pay higher rates because it increases the overall long-term risk to banks and lenders when people do that. So it's shameful. It's disgraceful. She should be apologizing.
You're not making me happy, buddy.
Well, I think it's more likely than not if she's going to be found guilty. Let me just say that. But even if she's not, she is still morally guilty and should resign. And and I think that's a given.
Well, you know as well as I do. First of all, she's not going to resign, and then secondly,
right?
It's the Dems are going to go see all this frivolous lawsuits that they're bringing against and trying to throw Trump's political foes in jail, and this is what this administration is all about. You know as well as I do. That's the road they're going to go down.
Right, and also the jury is going to be in her friendly territory. The judge will probably be politically aligned with her, so it's very difficult for a conservative or just for justice itself to be achieved when you have such a stacking of bias from the probable judge, the jury. That can be very, very difficult, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens here, and as it plays out, because I know now they're investigating Christopher Wray. They're also John Bolton, and maybe some charges come down to him at some point in time. I know that one judge was talking about dismissing the charges, believing them to be politically motivated. So I just think that these judges are set up against him, right, to a big degree. And I don't know how this plays out. Let's just put it that way. So also seeing the federal judges stepping up and stopping Trump again from sending the National Guard into Chicago. He can federalize the troops in Portland, but he can't send them in. I can keep going with all these rulings that just came down. It's amazing to me. So he may be forced into what was it he was going to do? What was the God bless? Come on, Messina. The where he gets to send troops in and they really can't do much anything to him. The insurrection, claiming there's an insurrection happening, and he can go in and clean up those cities, and the judges can't do anything about it. Did I lose you? Be back in a minute. Don't go far. A lot more coming up, I hope, with Brad Dacus from the News.
Attention homeowners. It's not if something's going to break, it's when. That's homeownership. If your dryer, your refrigerator, or your AC and heating breaks, that's an expensive call. And who do you call? Make it easy on yourself and call Choice Home Warranty. We've already done the research and have access to 25,000 technicians that can be at your home quickly. We've covered close to 2 million homes in the United States. There's a good chance your neighbors work with us. Call us right now before the next breakdown. We'll tell you everything that's covered in your home and give you the first month free with our ironclad 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and learn how to get your free month.
800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. That's 800-378-2250.
Limitations and exclusions apply. First month free with purchase of single plan. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for more details.
Life is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some not so much. But here's one thing you can control. Making sure your loved ones are protected if the unexpected happens. At easyplans.com, we make getting life insurance, well, easy. In just a few minutes, you can apply online and buy direct. No awkward phone calls, no confusing jargon, and no agent will contact you unless you request help. Just clear, affordable coverage designed to fit your life and your budget. Fast approval, flexible plans, and unlike other online insurance sites, Easy Plans won't sell your information to others. So no endless phone calls and text messages. Whether you're just starting a family, buying a home, or thinking ahead, EasyPlans.com has you covered. EasyPlans.com. We make buying life insurance, well, easy.
News Update, I'm John Schaefer. The Senate has once again blocked measures to end the partial government shutdown, marking the 7th time both Democratic and Republican proposals have failed. About 750,000 federal workers remain furloughed, and some may not receive back pay, according to a White House memo. The shutdown is now in its second week. President Trump is calling a momentous breakthrough in Gaza peace talks.
We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace.
At a White House cabinet meeting, he confirmed remaining hostages held by Hamas are expected to be released Monday or Tuesday as part of phase 1 of his peace plan. Public approval of the Department of Homeland Security is climbing, according to a new Gallup poll. 42% of Americans say DHS is doing an excellent or good job, up from 32% last year.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL25 for 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
You know this man.
Go ahead. Make my day.
We are back. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-732-5563. I'm just having so much fun with the lady running for governor here in California, Porter. She is. You're laughing already, Brad. Brad Dacus joins us from Pacific Justice Institute. He's a founder. Yeah, Brad. I don't know if you've seen these clips. She is one nasty person, isn't she?
She is a nightmare. She is an absolute nightmare. If you want to picture someone who is thinking about getting married and afraid and has a nightmare of the worst case scenario, that's the nightmare. She'd be the nightmare. Like just horror, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in a way also I want to say it's a shame. She obviously has a problem. Her anger counseling, you know, probably didn't resolve it. Maybe neurological. I don't know. But it's very clear who she is and how she is and why her staff keep leaving. You know, she sort of that's something she has in common with Kamala Harris, because Harris had a problem with her staff always leaving because the way they were allegedly treated by Kamala Harris. So I think though that. I think this is going to be the final blow for her in terms of politics, period. I think if she ran for Congress, I think she'd have a tough go at it because she has so clearly branded herself as someone that you would not want to spend time with, you would not want to talk to.
She's branded herself as a winch. That's what I call them. I mean, she is. Look at, she looks nasty. The interview she just did, nasty. You don't need Trump supporters. You don't need those people. Yeah, I got news for you, lady. You're gonna need those people when push comes to shove.
Yeah, and just the way she was responding to the questions, I was really surprised, because those questions were not hard questions. They were very easy responses. I mean, if she can't answer those questions and be civil, then there's definitely issues. Now, if she was suddenly thrown a curveball that was hitting something real deep in her life personally, and and I give people slack for that. If that might happen, and some journalists will cross the line and go into non-political things, into something very, very personal and hurtful in their past or something. That's not what this was. These are basic, underhand serve ball questions. And so the way she responded says she has got a problem. I don't know exactly what that problem is, but I think most Californians will say we don't want someone with whatever that problem is in the governor's mansion. It's going to be very, very problematic.
Let me tell you what, the problem is her. that's the problem she's got. She's got a problem,
Yeah.
But look at I don't want to paint with a broad brush, but I'm going to anyway. You see this more and more with these female liberals. You talk about Harris and a few others. They get so nasty and hateful, and there's no reason to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. It's very scary.
Well, and also, I think it's real important to note, this wasn't a one-time occurrence. She could have had a bad day. There could have been something that happened this one time.
Sure.
There's a pattern, a regular pattern. And the fact that we have several videos out there, several that happen to be caught on video, is significant. But then, once again, her family, other stories like throwing hot mashed potatoes on the head of her husband. Anyway, I can't ever imagine my wife doing that to me. I just can't.
I know. I mean, terrible. She's terrible. And again, we've heard a few other things. Like, remember Amy Klobuchar on the plane, and just berating a staff member because he had forgot to put a fork or something or whatever in her salad or for her salad, whatever. It was the dumbest thing in the world. It's like, okay, so eat with your hands. I mean, if you're that hungry, and the guy made a mistake, geez, get over yourself. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it is right there. Is when people are focused on themselves,
yep,
then they don't care about other people around them. They're insensitive to people around them, and they often get focused on themselves when they think that other people aren't worth anything, compared to themselves. That they are it. They're the prima donna. They're the whatever. And that's one reason why power is so dangerous to the human nature in general, because the more power we have, the more tempted we're going to be to believe that somehow we're above others and treat other people without the respect and dignity that they deserve. And she's a classic example of that. I don't think my prediction is she will make the top two if she stays in the race. I think she will stay in the race, but she's not going to make the top two. That's my prediction.
I hope you're right. All right, so I got one that you're probably going to end up having to fight. The Washington State Democrats are trying hard to eliminate parental authority by age 13. And basically what they're pushing for right now is that kids over 13 have the complete right to make their own decisions about their mental health. Parents don't have a right to have notice. Parents don't have a right to give them consent. They're talking about these kids being able to decide what they want for health care. They should be able to decide to quit school or work full time or drive or whatever. I mean, I don't even know what to do with this, Brad. I mean, would this hold muster at the Supreme Court?
I think there'd be a very good chance that this could be struck down as unconstitutional, and that is specifically as a violation of the rights of parents. The Supreme Court has held, and even recently in the Maryland case, has held that parents have a fundamental right over the education, health care, moral, religious training, welfare of their children. That's a fundamental right, and that doesn't end at 13. That ends at 18. That's the legal definition of when you become from a minor to an adult.
And even that's a tad young, isn't it? I mean, mentally.
Well, yeah, it is, because the frontal cortex, the final development of the brain, really isn't until the age of 26.
Yep.
Estimates are. It's at first they thought it was 16. They realized, oh no, there's still development. It's 18. No, it's 21. Now they understand it's actually 26. Do we really have the full capacity in terms of decision making? So, as far as the law goes, though, right now it's 18. If they say at 13, they're invading the rights of parents over their children. I believe that is headed for failure before the Supreme Court one day, if that becomes law.
Yeah, I hope you're right. It's really funny. In watching some of the stuff that's going on, I was actually talking about these rulings that have come down by these federal judges where, in Portland, the federal judge there says one thing. In Chicago, the federal judge says another thing. It's kind of like, wait a minute, are you guys reading the same Constitution? I mean, how does this happen? And it's the same exact issue. Can he have National Guardsmen in these cities? And I think he's going to be forced to, and you probably remember this, but he can he can declare some kind of insurrection, and he can actually send those troops there without any interference from the judges.
Well, yes, that's right. And we're also not looking at, a permanent, establishment usurpation of local law enforcement.
Right.
We're talking about ICE coming in there to find and apprehend millions that invaded our nation that are still hidden, many of whom are doing criminal activity. It's not speculative, it's fact. We have wonderful people who've been murdered. And this president is taking it very seriously to protect the U.S. citizens. The local cities, the city mayors in these blue cities like Portland, they are very pro-crime. They're friends of criminals in terms of their policies. It's just look at their policies. What do they stand for? And that's why this is so important, because they're often not cooperating. Now, Washington, D.C., that law enforcement was very wise. The mayor came around, did a 180, and said, we're going to work with the president. And they did, and they cleaned up Washington, D.C. I was just there just last week, and it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. People were walking the streets at night in places that you wouldn't expect. Crime has gone way down. Murders are zero. This is just not the same D.C. I used to work in a few decades ago.
They're not going to be able to fight and push back on this later on when push comes to shove. All right, got to go for a quick break. Don't go far. A lot more with Brad Dacus when we return.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special and enter promo code USA or call 800-8175. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code USA.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you could save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that trying to name your bike.
How about the Crusher? I guess it's not really crushing anything. The Silver Bolt? No. Oh, what about Pepper? Mysterious. Is it a pet or a condiment? Surprise! It's a motorcycle. No, that's stupid.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Do you have a story to tell? Bring your story to life with audiobooks. Great stories deserve great storytelling. Audiobook Network provides professional voice actors and full production services for every author's manuscript. From narration, production, and editing to distribution, promotion, and sales, Audiobook Network handles everything. If you have a print book, ebook, or even a manuscript, call Audiobook Network now and get our free audiobook guide. 800-734-1229. 800-734-1229.
I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor, Get the Tea. Get the Tea carries all natural, non-GMO organic teas and supplements made in the USA. Get the Tea's ingredients are the purest available. My favorite is Life Change Tea. Life Change Tea is a gentle daily cleanse containing 12 herbs that when combined really keep things moving. I drink it every day and my energy has never been better. I'm feeling great. Life Change Tea comes in 3 delicious flavors, natural, peppermint, and pomegranate. It's an easy and delicious way to keep your digestion on track. And for those on the go, try D365. D365 is Life Change Tea in a capsule. Drink the tea or take D365 capsules and keep your digestion running smoothly. Go to getthetea.com and enter discount code USA to get 10% off any size order. That's getthetea.com, discount code USA for 10% off your order.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you test and inject daily, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. That's 800-471-7065.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-362-9337. 800-362-9337. That's 800-362-9337.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
We are back. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Let's get him in. Got a lot I want to talk to about. Brad Dacus. He is the founder of Pacific Justice Institute. Always appreciate his time with me. And Brad, why don't you tell people about Pacific Justice Institute, what they do, and how they can help you?
Oh, you bet. We have Pacific Justice Institute. We're a nonprofit legal organization. We're defending religious freedom for everyone, parents' rights against the government, safety of human life. all without charge. We have 36 offices coast to coast. And what makes us so, and 170 cases in active litigation. One thing that makes us so unique is that we don't just, cherry pick. We take on big cases that go to Supreme Court, but we don't just cherry pick high profile cases. Our goal is to make sure that everyone gets help and that no one's left on the side of the road. That's our goal. That's what we work to achieve. And we do it all without charge. If anyone wants to keep up with our cases, they get our free e-newsletter, look at our wonderful free resources, empowering resources for parents, etc., at our website, pji.org, pji.org, or pacificjustice.org.
Yeah, and I appreciate, obviously, what you do very much. So, and people, I always say this to you, and it doesn't matter really how much it is, because when they see these donations coming in from you, they get, it's kind of a positive reinforcement that, look, Brad, I don't have a lot of money, but here's $100. I don't know what that's going to do for you, but I love what you do. I appreciate what you do, and it's kind of like the widow's mite, right? I mean, it's a good thing. I think it's a positive thing, and I wish people wouldn't be so stuck up about them not having enough money to give. Because if 1,000 people give $5 each, it's $5,000. You need to think of it that way, So anyhow,
that's very significant amount for our cases.
Yeah,
really it is. It's deposition maybe $350, filing fees, let's see, a couple, 250, 300. So we've got, that goes a long way with Pacific Justice Institute and helping real people with real cases that are challenging their faith, their family, their life. Very important. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree, and I do know every little bit helps. All right, so I actually don't like how this case is tagged, but it's the conversion therapy case that the Supreme Court heard the other day. And I don't know why they call it conversion therapy. I mean, when you were talking about kids who perceive themselves as being gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever, and actually sitting and working it through with a with a counselor. And apparently, I don't know what state that was, but they can't even talk. They're not even allowed to talk about, why do you believe you're this gender? Why do you believe you're gay or lesbian? Why? Have I got this all mixed up or what?
The state of Colorado passed this law. It says that it's illegal for a counselor to help someone who wants to, even like a minor, who has some feelings of maybe gender confusion, insecurities regarding that, or orientation. They may have, some, they may be bisexual, they may have, 90% heterosexual, they have this 10% same-sex attraction. They don't know about it. What's the deal? This law says, no, you can't do anything to in any way change their gender identity or their sexual orientation. You can't do anything to influence it. Even though, as studies show and the evidence shows, this is not genetic. Even epigenetics it says it's not genetic. It's rather the result of social environmental impacts like being abused sexually as a child, or the relationship with their parent, or lack of a dad, or lack of peer bonding, etc. These are all things that can and are addressed through this kind of therapy that Colorado made illegal, and it goes totally against also a Christian biblical worldview, which is do not be transformed in this world, do not be conformed to this world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Christianity teaches all about the power of transformation that comes to a personal relationship with God through faith in Christ. So this is a direct affront, not just in terms of viewpoint, but also in terms of the ability for people to get counseling that's correlated and not disagreeing with their deeply held religious beliefs.
So if I get this right, even if they want to talk to a counselor, even if they want to make a change, they can't. The counselor can lose their license.
In states like that, states like Colorado, Washington, Oregon, California, and some others. So in a lot of the northeastern states, Virginia North, for example, Illinois. So these are that most states, I think, still believe in freedom and liberty. And I took on a case in Texas where a counselor was threatened to lose his license because he gave counseling to people who wanted that kind of help. And they were going to take his license away. I went right in there and I said, if you do, we're going to sue, and you're not going to forget this. And they backed off and said, okay, we're not pursuing this anymore. So, but this is a big case, and the good news, it looks like I think it's going to be probably 7-2, not even 6-3.
Really?
I think even Justice Kagan seemed to see the problem with a law that only allows one viewpoint, one perspective, and is completely insensitive to people with different viewpoints and perspectives. There was no evidence that was really submitted to show that it was, harmful. In fact, there's lots of evidence cited by the attorney representing the side that we would advocate that says actually it is helpful. Even some of the experts on the other side said, yeah, well, actually it is helpful in for some people in some ways. So I think based on what I heard, and it's not always a given, but I think that there's 7-2, 6-3, and this will slam the door, I believe, at the end of the day. Some think they'll remand it down to the lower court to come back on up again. I don't think so. I think it's going to slam the door, not only Colorado, but all these other intolerant, insensitive, bigoted states that think there's only one way of thinking, only one viewpoint, and deny people the ability to get the counseling that they really feel like they need.
Yeah, you're right about that, though. There is only one. Do you remember here in California, and it might be 10 years ago, I don't remember, but it was the same thing with the conversion therapy books. And there was an argument, the state tried to pass this law, there was an argument that these churches that were going out on retreats, they were selling these books that had to do with conversion therapy. And part of the retreat was these guys who felt like they had different feelings could go and get the help that they needed, if you would, right? And they tried to do it under consumer affairs, right? That this was just nothing more than snake oil, and you were selling stuff that was nothing more than snake oil. You had no scientific proof. And I think the way you could get around it was to give the books away, right? Because now you weren't selling them, you were just giving them away. So, but just the mere fact that they would come after the churches, it was based on the churches. They would come after the churches and say, I don't care what your scripture says, that's hooey, this is snake oil,
Yeah, and that's what they do, and it's a big lie, because the truth is, 1 in 5 of people who have made the physical change to try to make a change to change their gender, if you will, which you can't really do, but 1 in 5 have come out and says, you know what, this was a mistake.
Yep.
And if they'd had the proper counseling that's illegal in California, illegal in Colorado, their lives would not be so disrupted and permanently sterilized, never to have children.
Yeah.
So it's very sick. They're not, this is an example where politics and ideology and radical agendas trump science, psychology, and concepts of freedom in the Constitution.
Are you suggesting you're saying that it doesn't matter, that science doesn't matter in this case?
Yeah, I mean, they're just denying the evidence of so many people. The attorney defending this Colorado law, she says, everyone knows that at no time has conversion therapy ever been successful, ever helped anyone. I went, what? There are thousands of people, both in terms of gender identity and gender sexual orientation, that are walking, living examples that, yes, there is transformation and change that can take place. I saw she just basically said these people don't exist. The biggest insult you can give to anyone is to act like they don't even exist. That is intolerance to the peak.
And that's their line, right? I mean, transgender people, we exist. Stop making like we don't exist. You treat us like we don't exist. Well, what about the detransitioners? What about them? Do they exist? And the sicknesses now that I get riled up. My wife this weekend, I was telling her on Sunday, I was getting mad at God. I'm like, I get mad when they make fun of you and they say things about you that aren't true. I get mad with what they're doing to your kids. I mean, Jesus, what are you waiting for? This is getting out of hand. And I came to my senses a few minutes later. But I get so mad because they don't care. They don't care about these kids. They care about the money. And I run out of time. PJI.org, PJI.org. Brad, get better. God bless you for what you're doing, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Joe Messina, your host. Don't go far, people. A lot more coming up after the break. You're stuck with me. We'll be back.
News Update, I'm John Schaefer. The Senate has once again blocked measures to end the partial government shutdown, marking the 7th time both Democratic and Republican proposals have failed. About 750,000 federal workers remain furloughed, and some may not receive back pay, according to a White House memo. The shutdown is now in its second week. President Trump is calling a momentous breakthrough in Gaza peace talks.
We ended the war in Gaza and really